Good evening. It's 6 o'clock in the evening, actually 6:11, Shreveport time, Louisiana. And actually I've walked a little bit already, and I thought I'd take a break and tell you a story. And sometimes I need some feedback, and I'm just wondering if, because I sure do get tired of hearing myself tell these stories, so I need to know if you really enjoy these stories or not. And I've tried to do it sitting down somewhere, or sometimes do it in different places, but I always come back to the same place. So, and I might walk some and then come back and tell you the story. But the story I want to tell you about today happened actually when I was 15 years old. I think I was about 15, and some of these times the stories, I might have an idea of the time, and sometimes I'll need feedback from my friends, and then I'll retell the story with a little more of the facts filled in. But right now, this is how I remember it. And I'm going to call this, I guess, I have some of these written down, the horse riding in the storm, or horse riding in the rain experience. I was 15 years old, and I was in a place called, well, it was like independent living for teen ranch. It was a boys' home, teen ranch, one of the best places I ever had been. And it was a really small house. You would ask my sister or ask my family. It was like really, really small. And actually, see, I have to walk. That's my problem. I always have to walk. So we're going to have to walk some. Anyway, so what happened was I was staying in this house, and there was a barn right in the backyard. And this barn had horses in it. And boy, did I loved horses. I mean, I absolutely loved to horseback ride. And a lot of times I would go bareback. I don't even know, we probably weren't even allowed to ride the horses sometimes, but, anyway, I was 15 years old. I was 15, actually, and it's hard to believe because I was in independent living, but I had graduated from that program so well that they put me in there right before I turned 16. Actually, I'm going to turn around here. Hopefully the light's still good. My path ends sometimes. And so this is how the story goes. I was on, it was just about ready to get stormy, and it was out in the horses, and I was riding, and it was so much fun. I loved doing this. And you're talking a stone's throw from the house. I mean, a stone's throw. I basically just hop out my door or my window, I'm into barn, basically. Maybe that's why they put me out there, I don't know. Anyway, so this particular time, I was on one of these horses, and it started raining, and it started storming bad. And this is kind of hilarious what happened. I'm riding through, man, I'm enjoying it and everything like that, but the storm's starting to get bored. Now you're starting to hear a little bit of thunder in the background and lightning and everything else. Actually, I'm going to have to put this in my pocket because I need to use my hand for something, for demonstrating something here. And so what happened was, I'm riding around, and horses sometimes they get very skittish in storms. Of course, when you're young, you don't think about these things as much until you get a few knots on your head or whatever, and then pretty soon you learn, you get a little wisdom. And so anyway, I go in, and I'm riding this horse, and I'm going out, and it's just slushy. It's starting to get really sloppy out there, like the mud and the manure and everything. It's all like just soup, practically, just soup. And so I'm riding about, and the horse is getting up some speed and everything, and I'm all over the barn area, and then all of a sudden, this crash of thunder and lightning, and the horse is just kind of going crazy. And so I try then to, I don't remember exactly how it went down exactly, but I go in the barn, and before I can think about it, I put up both my hands and I grab the barn as the horse goes into the barn, or on the outside. I don't remember exactly which way we were going at the time, but I put my hands up, and I'm not thinking real clear, and I put my hands up, I grab the barn, and the horse just keeps on going. So I go, and I swing back, and nothing else I could do. I wasn't on the horse anymore. I wasn't on the horse. So I let go, and I go face just fall right on my face in a thing of manure. So I'm like covered with manure and everything. I mean, it was not good. But that was one of my experiences of doing horseback riding in the rain, and with just not being prepared, I guess, and not realizing that it's probably not the best time to ride horses. If I recollect too, during that time, there was I think I had a roommate at the time, and sometimes I'll say people's names in these videos because I'm trying to connect with some of these people, or people that might know these people, because personally, I want to know more of my life story, and no one knows the grand scheme I have about this, but there is a grand scheme, and I have the vision someday that I'll build a biography, but actually it'll all be generated from a website. So I know that's a little too far down the line for some of you guys, but it's quite fascinating because basically it'll allow people to write their own version of the story. And so it's really going to be written by maybe, and you would be surprised how many people I know, or that know me over the years and all my traveling. I mean, I've been in, Israel and Peru, and I mean, I've been all over the country. I've just been all over, and I've got stories all around. And so I want to do do this way of interacting. But anyway, this particular time when I was out horseback riding, I just loved to do that. I believe that was the time I was with a guy named Ron Greshem, and he was in this place with me, this independent living. Eventually, I was there by myself at first, and then Ron Greshem with me, and so it was kind of funny. So I don't remember if this was at the same time or not, but it must have been raining in there, because we picked up manure and we started chucking it at each other, laughing. I mean, it was just hilarious. We got it all over the house and everything. I mean, we just had a manure fight like you would not believe. I mean, we were racing around with each other and trying to throw each other manure. And I'm thinking that happened at the same time. Maybe Ron, if he's still around somewhere, maybe he can tell me if that happened at the same time. I think what happened was he laughed at me or something, and I was covered with manure, and I said, "Oh, okay, let me see how you like it." I don't know. So to you folks out there thinking about riding in the rain, might want to think twice, especially horseback riding, bareback, in the rain. Anyway, think twice. That's one of my stories.